Welcome to my office. This is where I spend my weekends because I still work full-time with the Lagos State government as an ophthalmologist, although I do medical administration now. But on weekends, on Saturday specifically, I work here as a consultant ophthalmologist to this hospital. My week is usually pretty busy, but since ophthalmology is my first passion, I don't get any tired to come and work here on Saturdays for a few hours, depending on the load of patients. Sometimes I also do perform usual eye surgeries, from cataract to glaucoma surgeries, and I work with a very committed team. The members are just too committed. They walk around me, I walk around them. They know how to package me. They review the patients during the week. They book them for me to see on Saturdays, and that has helped me to still have a good grip on my first love, which is ophthalmology. I go into a lot of things now. I'm a medical administrator, I'm a public health practitioner. I do a lot of work for the Lagos State government, and SPAG stands for School Again Project for Girls, which is informed by the story my mother told me several years ago when I was still in school. She told me her story, and her story goes this way. She joined the church school as her parents were motivated by a call from the church that they should send all their children to the school, the church school, which was manned by a teacher catechist. I'm sure that was what was like in those days. And she joined other children to enroll at the school, and in no time she became the star student of the catechist teacher. I think that fateful day, the teacher wanted to show off with her that she's one of the bright students in the class, and she asked my mom to read through the letters of the alphabet. She got stuck at letter C because she had been learning three-letter words like cat, like cup, and all she could remember letter C to be was k, k, and that was how she got stuck. In anger, the teacher flogged her. She ran home to her mother, my grandmother, and my grandmother would not hear of it that a teacher flogged her daughter, and she asked us to stay at home since then. She could not be convinced to return my mother to school, and that was how my mother could not continue with her primary education. And as the normal way such stories usually end, while she was trying to narrate what happened at school, she said, because I could not pronounce the letter C. Now the C came up when she was trying to report to her grandmother. And to her, it was a very painful experience to convince her mother to let her return to school. And I learned that it was the usual practice of protection, defense of the girl children in those days, because they don't want them to be molested or be harassed by anybody. That was how she could not complete her primary school education, formal education, although she got other form of education here and there as a Christian at the church. And since then, I've been thinking about it. And when I became a resident ophthalmologist, when we treated issues like congenital eye defects in children and blindness in women, everything still went around the education of the girl child and women. And because of that, it now came on to me that educating the girl child is a very, very important aspect of human development and women empowerment as a small subset of human development. And it's been at my heart since then. So when the idea of celebrating my 50th birthday came up, well, I thought this is a very good opportunity for me. I had mentioned this to a few people who were close to me, including my pastor and his wife. Immediately they came to the church about 4 years ago. And repeatedly, issues have been coming before me of girls who dropped out of school who desire to go back to school. Though a lot of them had either gotten married or they had started working, and I saw that there will still be a subsector of children. If we can catch them early enough, when they stop going to school, we can actually convince them to go back to school, and that is what has informed Project Spark. And selling lights, mediating between them and their parents, and that will be able to get them back to school. And we're planning to work with major stakeholders, for example, institutions like government institutions, corporate organizations, to put in the little they want to. We want to put them back in school. We may need to get school placement from government schools. We may need to use other government facilities to help situations. And this is going to have a lot of wide sector effect, because we know that's going to help a lot more families to unite when they know that a daughter that has dropped out of school is going back to school. I'm sure it's going to be for the better of the family. And we also foresee a future where more women are able to hold policy decision positions in the future, that we further improve on the lot of women even in years to come. I also like to challenge my friends, family members, because in their own ways, little ways here and there, we're able to contribute to influence this project that we're trying to look into. A lot of people are interested, young people, older people. There are older people who know their own stories, and they don't want the stories of these new girls, young girls that are coming up, to end up the way they are ended. So everybody should come on board, join hands with us. I have a team of passionate people who are ready to go all the way to help each girl that has dropped off to school to get back to school. Where do we get them from? They're all over. We're going to make use of school registers, girls that have stopped coming to school for up to half a term or more. We're going to trace them back home to find out the reason why they have stopped coming to school. We're going to collaborate with antenatal clinics all over the region we're focusing on for now. We're going to go through all the antenatal clinics around. If there's any school-age girl that is pregnant attending the antenatal, we're going to follow them up from even that stage, so that as soon as their babies are delivered, they make sure they get back to school. We're going to collaborate with other people like nurseries that will take over the care of their children while they're in school. Collaborate with women, other women empowerment programs that will help them to look after the children while they're back in school. And we're also going to go through hospitals, general outpatients, hospital wards, to look for school-age girls who are on admission for chronic illnesses, so that we'll follow them up and make sure that as soon as they get out of that period of illness, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, they don't feel that they have lost so much that they cannot get back to school. And we're going to make sure we help them to get back to school. And as I said before, it's going to have a lot of wide sector effects, because it's going to help a lot of families to come. We know that a lot of girls will drop out of school as a result of family conflicts, and we'll make sure that you'll know that we have to reconcile that family before we even be able to get such girls back to school. And we're going to do all that. We know that it's a very big project, but we're believing God that with your collaboration, with your help, we'll go a long way. And our communities, our nation is going to be, they're going to be better for it. The Spark is going to be piloted from a solo local government area, and we're going to move from there to Ikeja local government area and then to Ikorodu. Our plan is to cover the whole of Lagos State and then move to other states in Nigeria on the larger scale. 10 million children in Nigeria are out of school, and a greater percentage of these 10 million are girls. And these are the girls that we're seeing as our target group to be able to help them to get back to school, into mainstream school system, so that they can complete their education. We intend to support them from primary school to at least GSS 3, so that whatever career path they want to choose from there, they can choose. And we believe from GSS 3, they can choose a path that they desire for their career from then. And we believe that all the development we expect, the empowerment that we expect, they'll be able to achieve that if they have at least that basic level of education up to GSS 3. We're going to start from Isolo local government area. We're going to move to Ikeja and then to Ikorodu local government areas. Our aim is to cover the whole of Lagos State and on a larger scale move to other states in Nigeria. 10 million children are out of school, and a greater percentage of these are girls. And this is our target group. We want to help them to get back to mainstream education system so that they can complete their primary education and get up to GSS 3 at least. We're going to help them, to encourage them, not forcing them to get back to mainstream line education. We might have to support by counseling. We might have to support little ways here and there to help them meet that need of getting back to school. Primary education in most parts of Nigeria is free, but we know that school fees is not just all that is needed. It might be just the school sandals or the school uniform that is needed, or just to mediate between that girl child and the family to allow her to get back to school. And that is what Project SPAG is all about. We're going to work with different agencies, international agencies like the WHO, UNICEF, United Nations agencies that deal in areas of women empowerment and gender issues in children. And I hope that through this, they will be better empowered, and human development will be able to achieve that through the development of women.